football.
You got Monday Night Football coming up tonight. It's Brady versus the Saints.
Whoa, big one in the South.
It is a big one because the Buccaneers have the fourth place in the playoffs right now, with being in first place with a 5-6 record. So they're trying to stay on top of their division right now, and they're pretty psyched about being 5-6, tied or ahead actually of the Falcons, who have two more losses than them, but they're tied in the win column right now. But Tampa Bay, even if the Cowboys or Commanders or anybody else has a better record, they're still going to have to go on the road and be wild card teams, while the Buccaneers in the NFC South, or the Falcons, or even the Carolina Panthers or the Saints. I don't rule any of these teams out at this point.
Yeah, you really can't. Anything can happen in the NFL, and anything can happen in this division. This will have a stinker of a champion that will be in the part of the NFC playoffs, and everybody will be like, how'd they get in? And then this team that's got more wins because they won their division. It's just the way it is. Dems to breaks the rest of the league.
Stop your crying.
Tom Brady's going to take advantage of that to the fullest.
Absolutely.
He is going to take advantage of that to the fullest. But big game for them tonight. They win it, and they go 6-6 in this division, which is really good. I mean, Atlanta lost to Pittsburgh yesterday by 3 at home. The Panthers don't know what the hell they're doing on offense. They really don't. The Saints, other than Alvin Kamara, I don't think they have a clue.
No, Michael Thomas is done for the year again. You've got, what is it? Carolina's going to Seattle next week. So that's one of the reasons that they were getting rid of Mayfield, because they've already named Sam Darnold as their starting quarterback. So Baker probably was like, listen, bunch of injuries. I'll take my release right now.
They're ripe for the picking, everybody in the NFC South, and I just think Tom Brady sees that, and he knows he can take advantage in the next couple of weeks. So a very interesting schedule for Tampa Bay in the next couple of weeks. They do have 2 humongous games after this one. This one's big because of everything that we just said. I think it's a must-win because of the next 2 weeks. Right. Tommy going back to his original home at San Francisco. Oh, isn't that funny? The team that he wanted to play for now needs a quarterback and might be going up against Baker Mayfield in that week. After that, who they think's going to beat them Bengals? Cincinnati comes down to Tampa Bay. So those 2 weeks, if you get a split out of those 2 weeks, I think Tampa Bay will take it, as long as they win tonight in New Orleans.
They should win those final 3 games.
I agree.
Though. Arizona, Carolina, Atlanta are teams that the Buccaneers should beat.
And they're getting healthy. They're getting all their receivers back. Should have a main complement of some Mike Evans tonight, along with some Chris Godwin. Fournette still banged up. Russell Gage still banged up. And that offensive line still banged up. But I think they will continuously get healthy as the year progresses. The defense, they've been showing up in the last couple of weeks. Hopefully they can keep that going, minus some safeties. They're down, they're down Antoine Whitfield for pretty much the year. I don't know. We'll see what's up with that. And then other safety, Mike Edwards, listed as doubtful as well for tonight's game. Possibly be back next week.
All right, so Cleveland went down to Texas, and they played the Houston Texans, beat them 27-14. After the game, Deshaun Watson spoke, not about what he did in Houston or what he's doing in Cleveland off the field, but on the field, 27-14. He talked about being booed. He's like, we're the road team now. I'm on the road. I'm getting booed. It's okay. Yeah. We're supposed to get booed. What'd you think of it? His comments after the game.
Deflecting the point. You're totally deflecting the point, man. They weren't booing you because you're the Cleveland Browns. They were cheering for all the other Browns.
You basically threw a grenade in the middle of the headquarters there. And you set this team back, although they were going the wrong way before he got there. He set this team back a few years easily.
Well, Houston hasn't done themselves any favor in the last couple of years. They don't know what they're doing at quarterback either. Keenan Allen played yesterday against the Cleveland Browns. If you want to just talk about football,
Allen.
Is it? Oh,
Kyle Allen.
Yeah. Keenan Allen and Casey Keenum and Kyle Allen. And there's another Allen quarterback, Josh
Allen. Yeah,
that always screws me up.
The Allen brothers.
Deshaun Watson played like crap. If you want to talk football, he was rusty, man. You could just tell it. It almost felt like he was the Tin Man. He could need some oil in them knees to get him rocking again. But
played in a year and a half.
You did expect that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, but it's an NFL program, though. He's been at practice. It's not like he's Terrell Owens and coming off the couch and trying to run a go route. Like, the guy has been working out. He knows the system. He's been throwing footballs. But I think it just illustrates game speed, especially in this league.
Right.
Like, nothing beats NFL game speed. There's nothing that you can duplicate it.
No.
Is it Bill Belichick who said the only way you get better at playing football is playing football? I think
play football to play football.
that was totally on display with Deshaun Watson going up there against Houston. But a win's a win. They beat Texans 27-14 despite the bad performance of Deshaun Watson.
Does that really show how bad the Texans are? They're
Yes.
1-10-1,
Yes.
and they just are atrocious.
Yeah. Some teams are just, I don't know. It's a weird situation going on in Houston.
You're still in the NFL, but you feel like you're not in the NFL. It's got to suck to be them right now.
It's weird that you're in a league that a coin flip every single week seems like the difference, and you are sitting there at 1-10-1. Like every other team in the league lucks up. Look at the Detroit Lions. Look at them.
Well, look at the Chicago Bears. They're eliminated from the postseason, and so are the Houston Texans.
Yeah, but the Bears, when you go up and play the Bears, and by the way, I would like to say a great performance from Justin Fields in the loss. Like, that dude is severely hurt and still making plays. He had that 50-yard run to start that game, and it just, the look on his face was not of excitement. It was just
Aaron
like,
Rodgers
oh,
was
God.
impressed.
I bet he was.
Yeah.
Going up against the Bears, though, when you go to Chicago, there's this thought of we may lose this football game. Like, they've got a decent defense, and they got this one kid that can run all over the place throwing the football. When you take on the Houston Texans, you think automatic win. We can't blow this automatic win. And this franchise, since Deshaun Watson has left, has been there. They've made a lot of other bad mistakes, organizationally speaking, pretty much since their franchise history. I mean, they wasted a decade of one of the best receivers, Andre Johnson. I don't know if they won I think they have won one playoff game in the last decade. But other than that, they're a doormat for the league. They're a doormat for the league.
Huge injury to the quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers, Jimmy Garoppolo. Everybody was happy. They're all smiles out there and stuff, and then he breaks his foot. They've got to come up with a quarterback here.
Yeah, because they're talented.
They are. You got McCaffrey and
Debo.
Yeah, Debo Samuel. I mean, you got some just weapons galore.
I forget who was calling the game, but it did say something that was totally true, that Debo Samuel had one of the best 5-yard loss runs that you will ever see yesterday. There's like 5 people around him. He somehow sneaks under all the tackles and gets away to turn a 15-yard loss into a 5-yard loss. But yeah, I think the world of their weapons, man, and I think that Shanahan does a really good job of coming up with offensive game plans. And I thought that Jimmy Garoppolo really executes those game plans. Say what you will about him and, not throwing 400-yard games, but I thought that Jimmy is just what they needed on that San Francisco team. Will it be Baker Mayfield, or will they roll with Brock Purdy? I remember on this show saying that Mr. Irrelevant was the best Mr. Irrelevant in the history of Mr. Irrelevant.
We shall see.
The
he may
last
not
pick
get
in
a
the draft.
start.
He may not.
He might bring somebody in, but he's not the only guy that's hurt. Matthew Stafford has a spinal cord contusion.
Oh
Lamar
gosh.
Jackson has a knee injury.
That's big.
Tua has a ankle injury down there with the Miami Dolphins. So we don't know how long some of these guys are going to be out. The Tua injury, they say it's days, not weeks. Lamar Jackson, anytime it's a knee and you're a guy that makes a lot of money with your legs, he will be smart to not rush back out there when he's up for a new contract.
Listen to Harbaugh's press conference this morning, said it was not a season-ending injury, and he will know more tomorrow how long that injury will keep Lamar out. Another injury that I thought was significant yesterday, I don't know the details on it. Hold on, I might get it. Ankle strain, which is good. I thought this could be worse. Kenneth Walker III, Seahawks rookie running back. I think he's been somewhat of a linchpin of this offense to really start clicking. And with him gone, that may be an opening to start beating Seattle in some of these football games. Really great game with them and the Rams yesterday. Seattle has now went to SoFi twice and won. They won against the Rams and they've won against the Chargers. Who would have thought that team's going to be the cream of the crop of that division?
Leonard Williams, part of that huge D line for the Giants. Bad neck. He did not come back into that game.
Big deal. That's a big deal.
It is. He's one of my favorite Giant linemen. Coming over from the Jets, he's been fantastic. They can't lose that big man up front.
No, and I really think that their offensive line play and their defensive line play has been the turnaround for the New York Giants this season. Especially like when you have 4 guys that you can rush and you don't have to bring any blitzers. I mean, Buffalo Bills did not blitz anyone against the New England Patriots and got home most of the time against Mac Jones. If you can do that with your defensive front, hopefully Leonard Williams will come back, because I think Kayvon Thibodeau is finally finding his stride in this league. I'm a huge Dexter Lawrence fan, big nose tackle. I think he's one of the best nose tackles in the league. But for the Giants' success, especially if you're going to be out of Adoree Jackson, you've got to have a good push without having any blitzing linebackers.
This is Kyle Shanahan on Jimmy Garoppolo. He'll be out. He'll need surgery. Broke a few things in there.
They just love him, don't they? They just really treat Garoppolo like he's one of the guys.
I swear to God. you might as well walk over and kick him.
He's alive. Don't worry about him. Moving on.
Might have screwed our season. Screw him. He's got a broken foot. We'll get somebody else.
Next question. It's significant, man. This league is a battle of attrition, and now with an extra week at the end of the season, it just makes it even tougher. I still think the biggest problem for the Buffalo Bills moving forward is keeping Josh Allen healthy.
Absolutely.
It can totally derail what they got going on, and it may be doing that to the Baltimore Ravens after this week.
And he needs to know that. Like, he needs to really get that into his head, because he puts himself out there.
Yes, he does.
Dude,
reckless abandon.
Cam Newton was told over and over and over and over again, and I don't know what it is. If it's you versus a linebacker, for some reason, a quarterback's mentality at that size is, oh, you don't think I can run him over? Watch this. And then they turn 28, and you don't really hear about him after that.
Hot stove, a lot of signings. DeGrom, this is so ridiculous. This is how stupid the Rangers are. Instead of dumping that news on Friday that he signed for $185 million, or Saturday when it came down, you announce it today. Today is the first day of the winter meetings, the 5th through the 8th. Out in San Diego. It's beautiful out there. Just breaking news. Aaron Judge will be at the winter meetings tomorrow.
He's there.
Well, he's trying to get a job. He's trying to get a contract. So you got to kind of shop him around and stuff like that. I told you, it's a meat market. It's like being a horse. They look in your mouth. They look in your other orifices. And okay, he can do it. Trey Turner got the biggest deal. $300 million, 11 years. I looked up his numbers. He's got wonderful numbers couple times in his career. The rest of the time, banged up. Hasn't played that many times. So when he does play 160 games, he's amazing. When he's playing 80 or 90 games a season, yes, he's amazing for those games. So honestly, he's like your shortstop of Jacob DeGrom. You know, you got to keep these guys healthy. You got to wrap them in bubble wrap when they're not playing to get them out there. Justin Verlander, 2 years with an option year that he can vest out. We'll wait and see what that means. I think it's like 25 starts a year, and he vests for that third year. But $86 million for the first 2 years. That's $43 million per. This guy doesn't need the money. He gave his whole salary this year to charity. But the word coming out of his camp is from his wife, says, we got more money offered from that other New York team. We just didn't want to get booed. So we took less money and signed across town. So
I think might be the biggest news of the
day. Huge news.
Just because, she is illustrating what a lot of people feel. But when it comes to money and money talking in almost every form and foundation of sports, that there are some things that do work into negotiations that have nothing to do with dollars and cents.
Absolutely. I thought the biggest news of the day was the big signing by the New York Yankees.
Woo!
Brian Cashman, 4-year extension.
Wow.
So if you thought he was leaving anytime soon, you thought wrong.
Oh, and you think Judge is old at 30 and getting a big-time deal. This guy's 55 and he's getting another 4 years? Huh. I guess that's cool.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We met a little earlier with Mr. Bob Joyce. We'll replay that for you as the UConn men's football team, they get to go bowling. And Bob will tell you exactly where they're going to go and who they're going to play next on the Rob Dibble Show. Ben Darnell on your afternoon drive, Kurt Kaplan on the ones and twos.